Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a sensory overload because the global pop culture landscape is about to witness a seismic shift that no one saw coming. The year is 2026, and the Kings are finally returning to their throne. BTS is gearing up for a US tour that promises to be more than just a concert series. It is poised to be a revolution in kinetic art, a spectacle that will be etched into the archives of music history. But amidst the deafening roar of anticipation and the blinding stadium lights, a whisper has turned into a roar within the industry underground, sparking debates from Los Angeles to Seoul. Sources suggest this isn't just about the 7 members anymore, it is about a historic collision of worlds. Rumor has it that Hybe has quietly recruited an elite squadron of world-class dancers, titans of movement who have defined generations to share the stage with the Bangtan boys. We are talking about innovators who breathe rhythm and bleed passion, individuals who usually stand center stage as main acts, now potentially forming the most lethal dance unit in human history. Imagine the raw street power of the Bronx meeting the polished precision of K-pop's finest. Can you visualize a synergy where contemporary ballet clashes with aggressive krump in front of 80,000 screaming fans? Who has the audacity to match the fluid, ethereal grace of Jimin or the explosive, bone-breaking precision of J-Hope? Will these unprecedented collaborations elevate the art form to a spiritual experience, or will the sheer gravity of these stars create a rivalry for the spotlight? From underground battle legends to icons of the Royal Theatre, the names on this list are nothing short of royalty. And wait until you hear about number 3, a revelation so unexpected, so jarring, it might just rewrite the history books of performance art forever. Are you ready to uncover the mystery behind the silhouettes and witness the impossible? Let's dive into the rhythm. Number 7. Brian Puspos. The architect of smoothness, the muse behind the idol, finally stepping out of the shadow. Imagine, if you will, the colossal SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The year is 2026, and the air is so thick with anticipation, you could cut it with a knife. The sea of purple army bombs creates a galaxy of its own, pulsing in sync with the heartbeat of 80,000 souls. But suddenly, the lights cut out, plunging the world into a pitch-black silence that screams louder than any noise, and a single spotlight hits the center stage, revealing not a member of BTS, but a silhouette that moves like liquid mercury, a figure whose isolation control is so precise it looks like a glitch in the Matrix, and as the smooth, sultry bass line of a remixed Serendipity or perhaps Butterfly begins to creep through the speakers, the die-hard fans, the ones who know the history, the ones who have studied the roots, let out a gasp that ripples through the crowd because they know exactly who is standing there. This is Brian Puspos, the man from Houston, Texas, the legend of the underground circuit, and the choreographer who, in many ways, taught Park Jimin how to fly without leaving the ground. For years, this narrative has been one of distant admiration, a digital love letter sent back and forth between Seoul and the US, where a young Jimin, hungry and passionate, would watch grainy YouTube videos of Brian dancing in sweaty studios, mimicking those intricate hand movements, that signature swag that isn't loud but deafeningly confident. And now, in 2026, the rumor mill is spinning out of control with reports that Hybe has finally inked the deal to bring the teacher and the student together on the same physical plane. We have to rewind the tape to understand the gravity of this moment, because this isn't just a backup dancer gig. No. This is a cultural reckoning, a moment where the choreographer steps out from behind the camera and claims his flowers while the world is watching. Brian Puspos is not just a dancer. He is a texture, a mood, a genre unto himself, known for a style that marries the hard-hitting isolations of hip-hop with the emotional vulnerability of contemporary R&B, creating a visual language that speaks directly to the heart before the brain can even process the movement. Remember the Own It choreography, the way he manipulated time? Slowing down the fast beats and speeding up the slow ones, playing with the audience's perception of reality? That is the DNA that helped shape the modern soft masculine aesthetic of K-pop dance, and seeing him allegedly rehearsing in a closed-off studio in Las Vegas with the 3J unit, J-Hope, Jimin, Jungkook, suggests a collaboration that will focus on pure, unadulterated musicality. Think about the technical prowess required here. Brian's style is notoriously difficult because it requires lazy precision, a paradox where you have to be completely relaxed to look smooth, yet have muscles of steel to stop on a dime. And putting him next to Jimin, who possesses that ethereal, feather-light agility, and J-Hope, who has that street-hardened groove, creates a trifecta of dance philosophy that is rarely seen outside of battle events. Sources close to the production team hint that this segment of the 2026 tour won't be about pyrotechnics or flying stages, but about a stripped-back, raw display of artistry. Perhaps a mirrored performance where Brian represents the past or the conscience, and the members represent the present, engaging in a call and responsive movement that tells the story of their growth from boys with dreams to kings of the stadal, of the tasked world. It's emotional because for the longest time, Western choreographers were the invisible hands sculpting the K-pop giants, sending demo tapes across the Pacific, often uncredited in the mainstream eye, but Brian represents the shift, the era where the creator is honored alongside the creation. Can you feel the weight of that? The man who was once just a pixelated inspiration on a trainee's laptop screen is now rumored to be sharing the breathing space of the biggest stage on Earth. The chatter suggests that they are working on a routine that utilizes negative space, the pauses between the beats, which is Brian's specialty, forcing the audience to lean in, to hold their breath, creating an intimacy in a stadium setting that shouldn't be physically possible. We are talking about a performance that is less about hype and more about soul, a tribute to the R&B roots that BTS loves so dearly. It is a full-circle moment that feels almost scripted by fate, a testament to the power of dance to transcend borders, languages, and time zones. If this happens, it won't just be a concert, it will be a masterclass, a documentary unfolding in real time, proving that legends don't fade, they just wait for the right beat to drop. Are you ready to see the master and the prodigy finally sync up? Number 6. Koharu Sugawara. The Empress of Emotion. A haunting beauty from the East. Unleashing the shadow self. If the previous entry was about the smooth, rhythmic seduction of R&B, then prepare your hearts for a jagged, emotional, violent turn, because number 6 takes us into the realm of the avant-garde, the raw, and the painfully beautiful. Introducing a rumored collaboration that feels less like a pop concert and more like a high-stakes contemporary art installation at the MoMA. We are shifting our gaze across the Pacific to the land of the rising sun, Japan, where a singular force of nature has been reigning supreme for over a decade, a woman whose name is whispered with a mix of reverence and fear in dance studios globally, Koharu Sugawara. The buzz surrounding the 2026 BTS US tour has taken a dark, sophisticated turn, with insiders claiming that the Black Swan era is about to be resurrected and reimagined, not just as a song, but as a theatrical masterpiece featuring Koharu as the physical embodiment of the shadow. Picture this. The massive screens of the stadium turn a static, glitching gray. The screaming crowd is hushed by a discordant orchestral swell that vibrates in your chest, and slowly, from the depths of the stage floor, rises a figure clad in tattered, flowing fabrics that look like wings torn by a storm. Koharu Sugawara is not a commercial dancer in the traditional sense. She is a performance artist who uses her body to scream what words cannot say, known for a style that is visceral, grotesque, and heartbreakingly human. She doesn't just hit the beats, she dances inside the lyrics, pulling out the agony and the ecstasy of the human experience with movements that are sometimes twitchy and unnerving, other times sweeping and majestic. Why is this rumor so explosive? Because BTS, particularly members like V and Jimin, have always flirted with the boundaries of art with a capital A, and bringing in Koharu signals that in 2026, they are no longer interested in just being idols. They are solidifying their legacy as serious artists. Koharu has already left her mark on the K-pop world. Remember her work with Taemin regarding Move and Want? She introduced a gender-neutral, sensual ambiguity that changed the industry's perception of what a male solo artist could do. Now, imagine that same disruptive energy applied to the 7 members of BTS. The speculation is that Koharu is choreographing and performing a special interlude that transitions into a rock-heavy, orchestral version of Fake Love, where she acts as the puppet master, manipulating the members with invisible strings. This creates a narrative tension that is palpable. The technical difficulty here is off the charts because Koharu's style requires an abandonment of looking cool in favor of feeling real, a challenge for idols trained to be perfect. We are talking about deep lunges that defy gravity, facial expressions that contort in agony, and a groundedness that connects the dancer to the earth. If Brian Puspos is the air, Koharu is the mud and the fire. The logistical scale of this rumor involves a specialized stage design, potentially involving rain or a shallow water set, allowing every splash and ripple to accentuate the violence of the movement. Fans are already theorizing that this collaboration is meant to represent the Carl Jung psychological concepts BTS has explored the confrontation with the darkest parts of oneself. For a dancer of Koharu's caliber, someone who has modeled for high fashion, judged global competitions, and taught workshops that leave students in tears of catharsis to join a tour, it implies that Hybe is giving the creative directors a blank check to pursue sublime darkness. Imagine the visual contrast, the polished, glowing skin of the BTS members against the wild, untamed energy of Koharu, creating a dichotomy that is visually arresting. Critics are saying this could be the moment Kim Taehyung truly shines as a performance artist, matching Koharu's intense theatrical energy stare for stare, gesture for gesture. It is a risky move. Mainstream American audiences are used to high-octane pop choreography, clean lines, and formation changes, so introducing something this abstract and emotionally heavy is a gamble, but it is a gamble that could elevate the concert from a show to a spiritual awakening. We are hearing whispers of a duet section, perhaps with Jimin, where the lines between contemporary dance and pop completely dissolve, leaving only two souls bearing their vulnerabilities under a single, harsh spotlight. This isn't just about dancing, it's about storytelling at its most primal level. Koharu brings a specific flavor of Japanese artistic discipline, unyielding, precise, yet wildly expressive, that contrasts with the Korean training system, offering a fusion that has never been seen on a stadium scale. The emotional weight of this segment would leave the audience exhausted in the best way possible, forcing them to confront the pain and beauty in the music rather than just cheering along. It's a testament to BTS's growth. They are confident enough to share the stage with a woman who commands attention simply by standing still. If this comes to fruition, the number 6 slot on the set list will be the one everyone talks about on the drive home, the haunting image of Koharu Sugawara's silhouette lingering in their minds long after the confetti has been swept away. Are you brave enough to face the shadow? Number 5. Sienna Lalau, the Polynesian Amazon general, the architect of the Kinetic Manifesto, commanding the chaos. Shift your gears, wipe your tears, and brace your core, because we are moving from the ethereal and the avant-garde straight into the eye of the hurricane, landing squarely on Number 5 with a force that registers on the Richter scale, introducing the rumored return of the Queen of the Jungle, the teenage prodigy turned industry matriarch, the one and only Sienna Lalau. If the previous entries were about the soul and the shadow, this entry is about the war, the sheer, unadulterated adrenaline of a stadium anthem, and the buzz on the streets of Los Angeles is that for the 2026 US tour, Hybe isn't just hiring her dance crew, the lab, they are putting Sienna herself front and center as the general of the BTS performance army. Let's set the scene. The atmosphere in the stadium changes instantly. The lights turn a blood red. The deafening sound of marching snare drums begins to echo from the rafters, and suddenly, the stage is swarmed by 100 dancers moving with the terrifying synchronization of a single organism, and at the very tip of the spear, leading this charge with a ferocity that could intimidate a lion, is Sienna. This rumor is setting the internet ablaze because Sienna Lalau is not just a collaborator, she is the visual architect of BTS's global domination era. The genius mind behind the ON Kinetic Manifesto and Dionysus, tracks that require not just dancing, but physical warfare. Why is this significant for 2026? Because the word is that BTS wants to recreate the energy of the Grand Central Terminal performance, but on a scale that defies physics, and only Sienna has the command presence to pull that off. We are talking about a woman who was merely 19 years old when she choreographed On, creating a routine that is widely considered one of the hardest in K-pop history due to its relentless cardio, high knees, and formation changes that resemble military drills, and now, seeing her rumored to step out of the choreographer's chair and onto the main stage as a featured performer alongside the members, is a narrative arc that screams empowerment. Imagine the visual power of seeing the reference girl, the one whose demo videos we have all dissected frame by frame, actually trading energy with Jungkook or J-Hope in real time. Her style is distinct, It is heavy, grounded, rooted in her Polynesian heritage, which emphasizes mana, power, and spirit, mixing the aggression of krump with the sharp, clean lines of commercial hip-hop, creating a power swag aesthetic that forces you to watch her. The rumor suggests a Battle of the Bands segment during the concert, possibly during Run BTS, or a rock remix of Not Today, where the stage is divided, with the BTS members on one side and Sienna leading an elite squadron on the other, engaging in a call-and-response dance battle that escalates into a frenetic, high-speed climax. This isn't just backup dancing. This is a partnership of titans. It is crucial to understand the cultural impact here. Sienna represents a break from the traditional skinny, tall dancer archetype. She is strong, muscular, unapologetic, and fierce, a representation that resonates deeply with the global fanbase. And her inclusion as a named, featured star on the tour would send a massive message about body positivity and the sheer meritocracy of talent. Sources whisper that they are working on a routine involving props, drumsticks, flags, or perhaps a massive moving platform where Sienna's ability to manage chaos comes into play, orchestrating a visual spectacle where bodies fly through the air and land on the beat with military precision. The technical difficulty of what she brings to the table cannot be overstated. Her choreography often involves cannon effects, ripples, that are notoriously hard to synchronize in a stadium environment due to sound delay. But Sienna is known for her clap-cleaning drills, ensuring that every single foot hits the floor at the exact millisecond. It is this discipline that matches the BTS work ethic perfectly. There is a deeply emotional layer to this potential collaboration as well. The members have watched her grow from a viral sensation into a globally respected creative director, and she has watched them conquer the world. So their on-stage chemistry is built on years of mutual respect and in-the-trenches rehearsals. Imagine the moment during the concert where the music cuts out and it's just the sound of 200 feet stomping in unison, led by Sienna's scream, building the tension until the beat drops and the pyrotechnics explode. It would be the peak hype moment of the entire show. Critics are already speculating that this number 5 slot will be the most physically exhausting part of the setlist for the members, a testament to their endurance in 2026, and having Sienna there to push the pace ensures that the energy never dips. We are looking at a potential Haka-inspired intro, paying homage to her roots, which would then transition into the aggressive beats of BTS's hip-hop discography, bridging cultures in a way that is respectful, powerful, and utterly electrifying. If Brian Puspos is the smooth R&B lover, and Koharu is the tortured artist, Sienna Lalau is the warrior queen protecting the throne, and her presence guarantees that the 2026 tour won't just be a concert, it will be a conquest. The floor is shaking just thinking about it. Aren't you ready to join the march? Number 4. Keone and Mari Madrid. The royal couple of storytelling, the masterminds behind the most viral moves in K-pop history, bringing Broadway to the Bangtan universe. If the previous entries brought us smooth R&B, avant-garde darkness, and military-grade power, number 4 invites us into a world that is distinctly different, a world where dance is not just movement, but a script written with the body, a silent movie projected in real time, and the rumor circulating through the VIP backrooms of the industry is that the 2026 BTS US tour will feature the physical presence of the very architects who built the foundation of the group's most iconic era, the legendary husband and wife duo, Keone and Mari Madrid. Close your eyes and transport yourself to the stadium. The deafening pyrotechnics of the previous set have faded, the massive LED screens turn off, and a single warm vintage spotlight hits the stage, revealing a lamppost, a bench, and 2 figures in fedoras and trench coats standing perfectly still. The piano notes of a jazz-infused remix of Singularity, or perhaps a swing version of Boy with Love, begin to play. And the crowd goes absolutely feral because they recognize the silhouette of the couple who defined a generation of urban dance. This is huge, folks. This is monumental because Keone and Mari are not just choreographers to BTS. They are the creators of the dope choreography, the masterminds behind Fire, Not Today, and the sensual masterpiece that is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. For over a decade, they have sent demo videos from their studio in San Diego to the BigHit headquarters in Seoul, teaching the members how to move with wit, charm, and impossible speed through a screen. But the 2026 tour is rumored to be the moment the digital barrier is finally shattered. Why is this landing at number 4? Because the stylistic clash and subsequent harmony here would be nothing short of a theatrical miracle. Keone and Mari are known for lyrical hip-hop and urban dance theater, a style that relies on micro-movements, lightning, fast hand gestures, and most importantly, facial acting. They don't just dance to the beat, they dance to the lyrics, the melody, and the hidden sounds in the background. Imagine the technical challenge for BTS to perform times alongside times them. The members, especially V, Taeyoung, and Jimin, have often cited Keone as a major inspiration for their expressive style, but sharing the stage means matching the Madrid chemistry, a telepathic connection that Keone and Mari have built over years of marriage and partnership. The rumor suggests a segment of the concert dedicated to The Story of Us, a narrative arc within the show that utilizes the Beyond Babel aesthetic, Keone and Mari's critically acclaimed Off-Broadway show where the dance tells a specific plot without a single word being spoken. We are talking about a performance that requires the precision of a Swiss watch. If one person is a millisecond off, the illusion of the group tutting or the intricate partner work collapses. Sources indicate that they are rehearsing a mirror concept for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, where the BTS members face Keone and Mari, reflecting the maturity of the group from their debut days to their current status as legends. Think about the cultural weight of this. Dope was the music video that introduced millions of Western fans to BTS, and the hook of that choreography, the neck isolation, the fast footwork was pure Keone Madrid. To see the creator and the muse perform it together is a full-circle moment that will likely leave the older armies in a puddle of nostalgic tears. But it's not just about nostalgia, it's about the evolution of the art form. In 2026, BTS is moving away from just high-octane pop and exploring more mature artistic avenues. Bringing in Keone and Mari signals a shift towards adult contemporary pop performance, where the focus is on nuance, texture, and the subtle interplay between men and women, or between the individual and the collective. There is also a whisper that this collaboration will feature a one-take camera segment, where a Steadicam operator weaves through the dancers on stage, capturing the intricate handography and facial expressions up close for the giant screens, mimicking the viral dance videos that made Keone and Mari famous in the early YouTube days. The logistics of this are terrifyingly complex, because Keone's choreography is notoriously deceptive. It looks chill and easy because they make it look that way, but it requires an immense amount of core strength and rhythm to hit those rapid-fire beats without looking chaotic. For Jungkook and J-Hope, this is a playground, a chance to show off their musicality, but for the group as a whole, it is a test of their ability to act as a cohesive theatrical unit. We might see a playful battle of charisma, where V tries to outcharm Keone, or a seduction dance-off during a track like Filter. The emotional resonance lies in the fact that Keone and Mari have always been the distant teachers, the ones who shaped the BTS identity from across the ocean. Their presence on the tour validates the global village that created the K-pop phenomenon. It acknowledges that while BTS are the idols, their movement vocabulary was built on the backs of global dance innovators. Furthermore, Keone and Mari bring a sense of wholesome, grounded reality to the high-gloss world of K-pop. They are parents, they are partners, they are real people who love dance, and that energy grounds the superstars of BTS, reminding everyone that at the end of the day, it's just about the joy of movement. If this rumor holds water, the number 4 slot will be the most feel-good section of the night, a celebration of creativity, partnership, and the magic that happens when the beat drops and the story begins. Can you hear the crowd snapping their fingers in unison? The theater lights are dimming, and the show is about to get incredibly real. Number 3. Les Twins. Larry and Laurent Bourgeois. The French deities of distortion. The kings of freestyle who conquered the West, a collision of chaos, and order that defies logic. If you thought the previous entries were merely impressive, you might want to check your pulse, because number 3 is not just a dance act. It is a glitch in the simulation, a cultural anomaly that has sent shockwaves through the global entertainment industry, turning the 2026 BTS US tour from a concert into a historic Clash of Titans event that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. We are talking about a surprise so massive, so jarring, that when the rumor first leaked on a deep web forum, it was dismissed as pure fan fiction. But as the evidence mounts, the reality is becoming terrifyingly clear. The twin towers of freestyle, the chaotic gods who have stood at the right hand of Beyoncé and revolutionized the global perception of new style, hip-hop, Larry and Laurent Bourgeois, known to the world as Les Twins, are reportedly set to share the stage with the Bangtan boys. Pause for a second and let that sink in. This is the surprise of the century, because Les Twins are not backup dancers. They are celebrities, fashion icons, and main characters in their own right who command fees that rival headliners. And yet, sources indicate that Hybe has orchestrated a meeting of the minds that will pit the kings of Eastern precision against the kings of Western chaos. Picture the scene. The stadium goes pitch black, the deafening screams of the army are suddenly cut short by a distorted, heavy industrial bass that rattles the ribcages of everyone in the front row, and two towering 6'4" silhouettes emerge from the smoke, moving not in unison, but in a telepathic, disjointed harmony that looks like a special effect, their limbs contorting in ways that human anatomy shouldn't allow. This is the moment the atmosphere shifts from a pop concert to a legitimate underground battle. The significance of this collaboration lies in the stark, violent contrast of philosophies. BTS is famous for Kalgunmu, razor-sharp, synchronized group dancing where 7 become 1, whereas Les Twins are the physical embodiment of free spirit, masters of improvisation who never dance the same routine twice, relying on an uncanny, biological connection to predict each other's next move. Putting them on the same stage is like mixing oil and water, creating a volatile, mesmerizing visual chemistry that threatens to explode. The rumor suggests a segment specifically designed for the dance line, J-Hope, Jimin, Jungkook, to face off against the twins in a cypher-style setup, a raw, unscripted circle where credentials are left at the door and only skill matters. Imagine J-Hope, with his roots in Gwangju street dance, locking eyes with Larry Bourgeois, a man who has battled in the grimy clubs of Paris, exchanging energy in a way that transcends language. We are hearing whispers that this segment will be set to a remixed gritty version of Mic Drop, or perhaps a new, unreleased heavy bass track produced specifically for this tour, and designed to accommodate the twins' signature musicality, where they hit beats that aren't even there, catching the breath of the singer, the scratch of the vinyl, the silence between the notes. The technical logistics for the camera crew are a nightmare because Les Twins are unpredictable. They might jump off the stage, interact with the crowd, or freeze for 10 seconds, forcing the BTS members to adapt in real time, pushing their improvisational skills to the absolute limit. This is dangerous, it is risky, and that is exactly why it is. At number 3, it challenges the perfection of K-pop with the imperfection of pure feeling. Critics are speculating that this collaboration is BTS's way of bowing to the roots of hip-hop culture, acknowledging the pioneers and the innovators by inviting the modern kings of the genre to share their throne. The visual contrast alone is worth the ticket price. The polished, glowing aesthetics of the idols versus the rugged, streetwear, avant-garde fashion of the twins, creating a tableau that represents the globalization of dance in the 21st century. There is also a deep emotional undercurrent here. For years, fans have made mashups of BTS songs with Les Twins dance clips, dreaming of a world where these two universes collide. And seeing it manifest in 2026 is a testament to the fact that art knows no boundaries. We are looking at a performance that will likely utilize glitch mode lighting, strobes that fire in sync with the twins' isolation movements, creating a stop-motion effect that makes them look like claymation figures coming to life. The sheer intimidation factor that Les Twins bring, their height, their intensity, their don't mess with us, aura forces the BTS members to step up their game, to project their energy bigger and louder than ever before, to avoid being swallowed up by the French duo's charisma. It is a friendly competition, a mutual sharpening of swords. If this happens, the viral clips from this specific segment will break the internet, not because of the choreography, but because of the raw, unpolished, sweaty reality of seeing 7 legends and 2 gods simply jamming out in front of 80,000 people. It's the ultimate validation of dance as a universal language. Can you imagine the finale pose? The 7 members of BTS and the 2 towering twins standing in a line, panting, sweating, looking out at a sea of lights, having just left their souls on the floor? This is the shocker, the wild card, the move that proves BTS is fearless. Are you ready for the chaos? Number 2. Rie Hata. The Empress of Tokyo Swag. the matriarch of the mic drop era, reclaiming the throne of hip-hop royalty. If number 3 was about the chaos of the glitch, number 2 is about the undeniable, crushing weight of absolute sovereignty, bringing us face to face with the woman who single-handedly injected the lethal dose of swag into the veins of the K-pop industry, the queen who needs no introduction but demands a standing ovation, the one and only Rie Hata. As we climb to the penultimate spot on this list, the atmosphere in our hypothetical 2026 stadium shifts from the experimental and the avant-garde to something much more primal, much more street, and infinitely more fashionable. The rumor that has the global dance community hyperventilating is that Hybe has secured the Japanese Lady Gaga of dance, not just to choreograph, but to stand shoulder to shoulder with BTS as the 8th member for a dedicated hip-hop segment that celebrates the golden era of their Western breakthrough. Let's paint the picture. The stadium goes dark. The air is filled with the sound of a revving motorcycle engine, heavy and guttural, vibrating through the floorboards. And then, a single beat drops, that familiar, heavy, sluggish boom bap that signals the start of Mic Drop, or perhaps a trap-heavy remix of Idol. The spotlight hits the center, and there she is, decked out in oversized, high-fashion streetwear. Think neon puffer jackets, bucket hats low over the eyes, layers of gold chains, and combat boots that look like they could crush concrete, flanked by the 7 members who are mirroring her energy. This is Rie Hata, the mastermind behind the choreography of Mic Drop, and Panman, and Airplane Part 2. The woman who taught the boys how to loosen their shoulders, drop their center of gravity, and find the pocket of the beat where the groove lives. Why is she number 2? Because her influence on BTS is foundational. She is the architect of their swag persona. Before Rie, K-pop choreography was largely about lines and angles. Rie brought the bounce, the attitude, the unbothered confidence that says, "I'm the best, and I don't even have to try." Seeing her perform live with them in 2026 would be the ultimate full-circle moment, a visual acknowledgement that the student has become the master, and the master is still the queen. The chemistry here is specific and electric, particularly with J-Hope and Jimin. J-Hope, the street dance leader of BTS, shares a stylistic DNA with Rie that is undeniable. They both possess that infectious, gummy smile that can instantly switch to a terrifyingly intense stank face when the beat gets dirty. Rumor has it that the 2026 tour will feature a cypher interlude where the rap line, RM, Suga, J-Hope, takes center stage and Rie Hata acts as the visual hype man, the physical manifestation of their flow. Imagine the visual of Suga spitting fire on a fast verse, while Rie hits every syllable with a pop, a lock, or a heavy stomp, her movements amplifying the aggression of the rap. This collaboration is also a massive nod to the fashion world. Rie Hata is a global fashion icon, known for mixing high-end luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci with underground streetwear, creating a more is more aesthetic that matches BTS's own fashion evolution. Sources suggest that for this segment, the costume design will be entirely curated by Rie herself, transforming the stage into a moving runway of vibrant colors and oversized silhouettes. The technical difficulty of dancing with Rie Hata lies in the groove. It looks easy, but it is deceptively hard. It requires a complete relaxation of the muscles followed by a sudden sharp engagement. It's about texture, how you ride the music. If the members are too stiff, they will look like robots next to her fluid, heavy motion. If they are too loose, they will look messy. It is a test of their maturity as dancers. We are hearing whispers of a special Anpan Man reprise, a moment of pure joy and fun where the choreography is less about precision and more about party vibes, with Rie leading the conga line of chaos, interacting with the crowd, bringing that signature Tokyo swag energy that is colorful, loud, and unapologetically happy. But the real tear-jerker moment for the fans would be the mic drop finale. Imagine the song ending, the heavy breathing, the sweat dripping, and instead of just Suga dropping the mic, Rie steps forward, pulls a mic from her jacket, and drops it in unison with him, signaling that the queen has spoken. It validates the history of BTS, acknowledging that their global dominance was built on these hard-hitting hip-hop tracks that Rie helped shape. She represents the bridge between the Japanese dance scene and the Korean idol world, a bridge that BTS has crossed many times. Her presence on the tour would also be a massive statement for female empowerment in the hip-hop scene, showing a mother of two, yes, she is a mom, outdancing men half her age with a swagger that is timeless. The energy she brings is not just hype, it is royalty. She doesn't ask for attention, she commands it. If this rumor is true, the number 2 slot will be the moment the concert turns into a block party, a celebration of culture, rhythm, and the sheer coolness of being at the top of the world. The vibrations from this performance would be felt in the parking lot. Are you ready to bounce with the queen? Number 1. The quickstyle. The Norse gods of synchronization, the brothers beyond blood, the architects of the golden age who defined the soul of Bangtan. Here we are, at the absolute summit, the pinnacle of the mountain, the final destination of this kinetic journey that has taken us through every emotion, every genre, and every corner of the globe. And for the number 1 spot, we are not just talking about dancers, we are talking about family, about the very DNA that runs through the veins of BTS's most iconic era, introducing the rumored history-making reunion with the Norwegian trio that changed the game forever, the quickstyle. If the previous entries were about power, chaos, swag, and storytelling, this final entry is about pure, crystalline harmony, a bond so deep and a synchronization so perfect that it feels spiritual. Picture the scene on the final night of the 2026 US tour. The stadium is completely silent, no music, no screaming, just the sound of a howling wind rushing through the speakers, a sonic callback to a bleak, gray beach in 2016. And slowly, the lights rise to reveal not 7, but 10 men standing in a perfect circle, dressed in matching, impeccable, oversized suits that billow in the artificial breeze. The opening chords of Save Me begin to chime that haunting electronic pluck that every army knows in their bones, and the crowd doesn't just scream, they weep, because standing there with RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook are Suleiman Malik, Bilal Malik, and Nasir Sirakan. This is the holy trinity of the BTS dance lore. Why is the quickstyle number 1? Because they are the architects of the golden age of BTS aesthetics. They are the minds behind Save Me, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Boy with Louvre. Before the quickstyle, K-pop choreography was often about rigid formations and gimmicks, but these 3 men from Oslo brought a European sensibility, smooth, stylish, intricate footwork, and a focus on pictures rather than just moves. They taught BTS how to look like a moving painting. The rumor circulating in the highest echelons of the industry is that for the 2026 tour, Hybe has commissioned the quickstyle to co-direct the entire finale act, culminating in a performance that blurs the line between the artist and the muse. We are talking about a 10-man version of Blood, Sweat, and Tears that utilizes the entire stadium floor, a performance so grand and so detailed that it mimics the complexity of a Renaissance fresco. Imagine the visual of Jimin and Nasir trading centers, their movements mirroring each other with a fluidity that makes it impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. The quickstyle is famous for their musicality in the pockets, finding rhythms in the song that no one else hears and seeing them apply this live, in real time, with the members they helped shape, is the ultimate fan fantasy come to life. There is a profound narrative weight here. Save Me was the turning point for BTS, the moment they transitioned from hip-hop rebels to emotional artists. And the quickstyle provided the physical language for that transition. To see them recreate that one-take magic on a stadium stage, perhaps with a rotating platform to mimic the camera movement of the music video, would be a masterclass in nostalgia and technical brilliance. But it's not just about the past, it's about the present. The quickstyle has exploded in global popularity recently. Remember the viral wedding dance? Becoming celebrities in their own right, which puts them on equal footing with the idols. This dynamic creates a supergroup energy on stage. Sources whisper about a suit dance segment, a nod to the quickstyle's signature look, where the 3J unit, J-Hope, Jimin, Jungkook joins the trio for a sequence of footwork so fast and precise, it looks like a tap dance battle remixed for the future. The connection is personal too. These guys are actual friends. They have traveled together, eaten together, and shared the struggles of the creative process. That chemistry translates on stage as genuine joy. You aren't watching hired guns, you are watching brothers jamming. The Boy with Louvre finale is rumored to be the happiest moment in concert history. A massive, colorful explosion of funk where the choreography is loose, playful, and filled with inside jokes between the dancers and the members. It represents the happy ending of the BTS story, from the angst of "Save Me" to the joy of "Boy with Love." The technical discipline of the quickstyle, their ability to stop on a dime, their isolation control, their formation changes that look like kaleidoscope patterns forces the BTS members to be at their absolute sharpest. It elevates the standard of the entire show. Critics are saying that this collaboration is the final piece of the puzzle. The acknowledgement that BTS didn't get here alone, that they were built by a global village of geniuses, and the quickstyle sits at the head of that table. The emotional climax of this performance would likely be a moment during Spring Day, where the choreography slows down to a contemporary lyrical style and the 10 men form a human tree, or a complex structure, symbolizing support, growth, and the passage of time. It is a visual metaphor for the journey they have taken together. If this happens, it won't just be a performance, it will be a coronation. It is the moment where the idol label falls away, and they are just 10 artists, 10 dancers, 10 friends, moving under the same lights, breathing the same air, proving that music and dance are the only languages that truly matter. The quickstyle doesn't just bring moves, they bring the vibe, the soul, and the heart of the performance. They are the anchor that keeps the BTS ship steady in the storm of fame. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why they are the undisputed number one. The lights go down, the silhouette of the 10 men remains burned into your retina, and you realize you have just witnessed history. The tour is over, but the legend is eternal.